Hello everyone, it's Dashadevsky here. Just recording this video to finally share with you some of the results from this past weekend where our April group did their purge. So I've spoken a lot about liver purging. For those of you who have missed that, let me just explain a little bit about what purging is all about. So purging or liver cleansing is basically a protocol that you follow. The protocol itself is a 7-day protocol. However, the preparatory work that goes into that takes several weeks if you want to do it properly. So in my 8-week Live Like You Mean It program, the liver purge doesn't happen until week 7. And this is how we get the results that you're about to see. So the liver cleanse is an absolutely profound protocol that has been around for a very, very long time. It's been practiced by millions of people worldwide. This is not my protocol. The great Andreas Moritz designed this protocol a very long time ago, and it has been adapted to suit my 8-week program, but it is essentially his protocol. So what you're about to see are photos that were taken on Sunday morning after the cleanse took place the previous night. So you're about to see a whole bunch of photos that are showing you liver sludge and gallbladder stones and liver stones. Now, a lot of people don't know this, and if you go Googling it, you won't find it, I assure you. But the liver can also store stones. So I've had many cases where I've worked with people that don't have a gallbladder, and we've done liver stone purging protocols, and we've retrieved a whole heap of stones and sludge. So if there's no gallbladder, there's really only one place it can come from, and that's the liver. So the liver has a whole bunch of bile ducts, and over time, depending on your exposure and depending on a whole range of factors, the liver can become a bit sluggish and things can get stuck in the organ. This is how we create fatty liver. So you can heal from fatty liver. I bet your doctor has told you that you can't reverse fatty liver. That's rubbish. I've helped many people reverse fatty liver, and I've helped many people avoid gallbladder removal surgery. So it can be done, and the photos that you're about to see are evidence of that. So these stones come out via the bowels. So a lot of people often ask, well, how do you get rid of them? Well, Sunday morning, the last day of the purge, the last day of the protocol, you literally get up and I teach people how to poop in a strainer. It sounds crazy. I know, I'm hearing myself, but it works, right? Because if you don't poop in a strainer, how on earth are you going to be able to catch all the stones? They're quite heavy, so they will float to the bottom of the toilet. So you want to be able to take photos and that kind of thing so we can assess your results. You need to poop in a strainer. So the photos you're about to see, you'll see all the stones sitting either on toilet paper that people have fished out with tongs or sitting in a strainer. So these stones are made up of a whole range of things. And I bet if we sent them off for analysis in a lab, we would get a very detailed report that would prove that there's not only fats, undigested fats and bile salts and a whole range of other metabolic waste from the body, but also there'll be microplastics and heavy metals and other chemicals and stuff that the organ has really struggled to break down and to excrete. Now, the reason why I wait till week 7 to do this protocol is we can't start with the liver. I'm sure if you guys jump on Google right now and you go looking for Andreas Moritz's protocol, I'm sure you'll find it. And I urge you not to just download it and follow it willy-nilly, because the liver does not like to be stressed. And if you don't do this protocol properly, you will put yourself or your body into stress mode. And when you're in stress mode, no healing can take place. So that's why 7 weeks before the protocol, we actually do a whole heap of other work on even our emotions. Because if you go into this cleanse in a mentally stressed state, you won't release stones. So there's a lot of work that needs to happen first. You can't just download the protocol and just jump into it. You're not going to get results. And if you do, you're going to be causing way more stress to your body than is necessary. So there is a process. You can't just jump into cleansing. You can't just jump into detox. There is a process. And the other reason why you need to trust that there is a process is this: you can't start the liver cleanse unless you have worked on your colon. So most people have anywhere between 5 to 10 kilos of poo stuck up there in their small intestinal path. And when you go for a colonic, it's only working the large colon. And yes, that's important. Colonics are important. But if you have a really big evacuation, you can't just assume that you're, oh, well, I'm now empty. You're not empty. You've got a whole heap of stuff stuck up there in that small intestinal path that is creating malabsorption and that is creating all sorts of acidity and inflammation and fermentation. So if you're listening right now and you have things like bloating or diarrhea or lots of gas, or some foods you can't digest properly, or maybe you have been supplementing iron for a really long time and you're still deficient, you have to look to that small intestinal path, because it sounds like if you have these symptoms, you've got malabsorption. Malabsorption is created when there is a whole heap of mucosal plaque, black thick tar, sits in that top section that stops the vital nutrients from making their way into your bloodstream, which is where they need to be in order for you to get what you need from your food, right? Everything comes out of your food, goes into your bloodstream in that area. So that's where the bulk of your digestion takes place. So you start with the colon, you do a really good colon cleanse. That's what we do for 6 weeks leading up. We do colonics, we do castor oil compresses, we change our diet, and then we move into the liver focus. So let me share some photos with you. Now, I've taken all the names out of the photos I want to share with you just for privacy reasons. So I've referenced the people as numbers, which I don't like that, but I think it's just important to preserve privacy and confidentiality. And I'm not presenting all the results. There was a group of 16 people that participated in April. I'm not presenting all the results because there's just too much to get through. I've just hand-selected a couple just to share with you, just to show you what is possible when you set your focus and your intention on healing your body. So let's jump into it. So person number 1. So this lady here, I've been working with on and off for a long time. She recently had her live bloods analyzed with me. Now, the first time I looked at her live blood, I said to her, hey, there are some issues. Your blood's very sticky on top of each other. And I think we need to do some work. So I created this report, and she read the report, and you may have seen on my feed on Insta and even in my Facebook group, she actually shared herself this testimonial. Oh my God, I've just read my report and it resonated so much. Oh my God, yes, I now know what I need to do. So she was like, let me finish my breastfeeding and I'm all yours. So of course, as soon as she finished breastfeeding her child, months later, she came and saw me and said, okay, let's start this. Now, when she did her purge, look what came out of her liver and gallbladder. Photos are pretty disgusting. Hopefully you're okay with that. Some of them are a little bit gross, but the reason why I'm showing you these photos is because this is evidence of healing. Now look at that center photo. I mean, that center photo is insane. This is what fills the gallbladder, and this is what sends people to emergency room, this stuff right here. Now, these stones, I got a lot of my people on the weekend to cut up their stones. They're like, oh, can we cut them? Absolutely. Just get some gloves, get some tongs, get a knife that you can throw out after if you want. Just get a little stone, cut it up and see if it's hard or soft, and most of them are soft. There's a reason why they're soft. Inside their body, they're actually rock hard. However, because of the protocol that I take them through, they drink a heap of salt and some other things that helps to break things down, which is why they then soften, which is why they're very easy to expel. It doesn't hurt when you do this because of the protocol. The protocol has been developed in a very specific way to make sure that it does not hurt, does not cause any organ stress. So, I mean, if you just look at these, there are more. She's got more photos. I'll show you those in a second. If you just look at these photos, if you were to put all this content in a little container, it would be a whole heap of crap from the liver that if she didn't expel would still be sitting there, contributing to all sorts of issues. Now, remember, your liver is a really unsung hero. Your liver is your main detox organ. If your liver's not working, it's going to cause issues for your pancreas, for your immune system, for your heart, and even for your brain and every other cell in your body. You've got to love your liver. So here are her first purges, her first photos, and then you can see throughout the day on that Sunday, she just kept going. Crazy. And even more, these are still her photos. She just kept going. Pretty insane, right? So I'm really proud of her because she trusted the process. She was committed. Now, this person actually was mind-blowing because she said to me, hey, I'm committed. However, I am going overseas on a family holiday that's been booked for some time. How are we going to manage that? And I'm like, well, if you're committed, I'm committed. We'll make it work. So she went halfway across the globe to a different country, and she still continued the protocol and did all the things over there, and she still got excellent results. Why? Because she's committed. She's totally committed to her health. So I'm very, very, very proud of her, and I've told her that. So I hope she feels that herself. I'm sure she does. Okay, moving on. So that should say first purge results for number 2. I moved the slides around, apologies. This is a second person, another person. So this woman has done 3 purges. So I've been working with her since January. She did the January program. She was mind blown, and she was like, fuck, I've got to come back and do the April program. And then she started the April program, then she had a heavy metals test and they came back off the charts. So she's like, you know what, I think I need some extra help. So not only is she doing the June program again, but she's also committed to 3 months of coaching with me, which will take her to the end of the year. So she's got almost a year's worth of coaching to help her heal from Hashimoto's. And I know she will. She's committed as hell. So I will share her story in probably 3 months' time. The story about this beautiful lady who healed Hashimoto's. Stay tuned. So when she did her first purge back in March, this is what came out of her. This is all liver sludge. So this probably was stones, big stones, but then all of the solutions that we drank that week broke things down and helped to turn it into mush, basically. But this is all the stuff that's right on the end of those bile ducts, all that new stuff, okay? So here are some photos. There's another one there. So that's all the results from her very first purge, okay? So even though that says number 2, it's the same person. So this is the same woman. She's now done her second purge. She did her second purge. It was around April, if I'm not mistaken, middle of April. She did her second purge and she got more results and more results and more results. Heaps and heaps and heaps more sludge. So I looked at these results and said, sweetie, you've got to keep going. There's more. There's so much more. And I said to her, as you keep going, you go deeper and deeper and deeper into those bile ducts. You get all that old stuff that's all the way up the top there that's been sitting there for a long time, right? Now, let me pause a moment and just remind you what the liver does. It's responsible for 500 plus crucial roles in your body. If your liver is not working properly, good luck regulating your hormones, which is, I believe, how all this shit in her body has created Hashimoto's. That's why I believe that once she gets rid of all this crap, her Hashimoto's will not be a problem for her. Her endocrine system will rebalance and she will be able to function optimally. So they're her second purge results, and now we have the purge results from this past weekend. Now, again, remember, every time we do a purge, we go deeper and deeper and deeper into the organ. Look what came out this past weekend. All the old stuff. Now, if that's not totally mind-blowing, then I don't know what is, right? Now, they all look like really similar photos, right? When I first saw these photos, I'm like, oh, hang on, we've got duplicates. No, they look similar, but they're not. Look at this photo up here. It's got 3 big ones there. This photo does not. This photo has a big one in the center. This photo does not. They are different releases, because what I get people to do is have a release, take a photo. Have a release, take a photo. Don't take several photos of the same release, because I want to know in totality how many stones you're getting rid of. These are individual releases. And it doesn't stop there. More results from this past weekend for her. I mean, this is mind-blowing. And it actually concerns me, the amount of people that don't know this is a thing. Crazy, hey? And still more results. The same person. This is a third flush. So she'll be doing more flushing. And then around July, we're going to get her heavy metals tested again. And I know what's going to happen, and I'll show you those results. I'll share those results with you when I can, when we have them in my hand. So she'll get her heavy metals test done again, and it will show that her heavy metals are declining because she's healing her liver. When the liver's working, you don't have a problem with heavy metals. So this is just epic. Okay, let's move on to person number 3. So this person is a beautiful soul who I call my friend. She's neurodivergent or neurospicy, as she says. She's absolutely divine. She has bipolar and she also has hypothyroidism. She was so super excited to do her purge. Look at her results. How crazy are these sizes of these stones? Now, the green, so that's actually a kidney bean, believe it or not, because she cut that up. That's a kidney bean in the center. It's not a stone. It's just a little bit of undigested food. But you can see these green ones have more bile in them. That's why they're more green. The yellow ones have less bile. We can't say for certain which ones come from the gallbladder, which ones come from the liver, because some people think the green ones are from the gallbladder, the yellow ones from the liver. That's not true, because my partner doesn't have a gallbladder and all her stones are yellow and green. So I explain that, okay? She doesn't have a gallbladder yet. So we flush her liver lots of times. So if you're listening right now, you don't have a gallbladder, you need to be doing this even more than someone with a gallbladder, okay? So you've got to love your liver more when you get rid of your gallbladder. Here's more results for the neurospicy goddess. Pretty cool, hey? All right, moving on, person number 4. So this person here, when she came to see me, I was a little concerned, because when I said to her, hey, you know, when we're on the program, there's no meat. She's like, what? Well, what am I going to eat? I'm like, vegetarian, honey. She's like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. And in fact, for the first couple of weeks, she didn't. She's like, I'm doing my best, but I'm still eating meat. So she did her best. And she did cut it out towards the end, and she felt great. Now, she came to me with constipation and belly fat. That were the 2 problems that she was trying to solve. Now, I said to her, you cannot heal the colon and eat meat at the same time. So carnivores listening, I don't care about your views on meat. This is a basic fact. If you have, 5 kilos of shit stuck inside your body, wouldn't it make sense for you to eat just foods that are easy to digest to ease the burden? Wouldn't that make sense? It doesn't make sense to eat meat when meat can take up to 72 hours to digest, even longer for some people if they've got slow bowel transits or they've got sluggish digestive systems. Do you really want all that shit stuck in your colon and then meat piling on top and piling on top of it? No, you do not. So I'm not here telling you not to eat meat. That's another conversation. I'm here to tell you that you should give meat a break. For this purpose, give it a break. No person on the planet has ever said these words. I healed my cancer by eating meat. No person on the planet has ever said that. That's not how we heal. Meat is an acidic food. And yes, we need a little bit of acid. But this lady was eating meat every day. It's too much meat. And she's not eating biodynamic meat. She's eating shit from supermarkets full of transglutaminase, which is a glue, a meat-sticking glue, full of hormones, antibiotics, pesticides, herbicides, glyphosate, and God knows what else. We have to get real, guys. Our ancestors didn't live this way. On carnivores will scream, oh, our ancestors ate meat every day. Yeah, they didn't go to Coles. They killed the animal. If I had animal fresh meat, I'd probably eat meat too, more than I do. Okay, but I don't. So I'm going to understand the facts of this scenario, and that is you cannot heal the body with meat. Now, why is it that the carnivore diet is so crazy right now? Because people are not eating carbs. When you don't eat carbs, you're going to feel fantastic. I promise you, if you don't eat carbs and don't eat meat and find other plant-based sources of protein, you'll feel just as equally fantastic, and you'll reduce your risk for kidney disease, liver disease, and cardiovascular disease and all sorts of other shit, right? So I'll leave it there because I can go on for 3 hours about this whole carnivore situation. I'm not vegan. I was for a long time. I'm not vegan. I don't believe vegan is suitable for everyone. Just like I don't believe carnivore is suitable for everyone. Everyone is bio-individual. We all have different needs. Yes, absolutely accept that. But for the purposes of cleansing and detoxing, there is no place here for meat. So she was like, okay. Right now, in the process, along the way, you know what happened to her? She resolved her constipation. She's now pooping twice a day, and she's gotten rid of her belly fat. Right? She's still eating food. She's still loving her life, still socializing, just not eating meat. Look what came out of her. I mean, this is crazy. I looked at these photos. I'm like, what the hell? These are all stones, hundreds and hundreds of stones. So do you think her body benefited from taking a break from meat? Absolutely it did. It was able to reutilize all that energy that we spend digesting meat and harder to digest foods. All that energy she took back, and she was like, right, use the same energy, but use it for over here on my liver. So all that energy got redirected to the liver and to healing and to detoxing, which is why she got such epic results. She's also lost some weight. Lots of people lose weight. One of the previous women that I talked about lost 15 kilos since the beginning of the year. And she's still eating like a queen, but she's just eating different foods. All right, person number 5. This person has rheumatoid arthritis. She was a little bit worried about doing the purge because for many reasons, I think. I think it's just fear of the unknown, right? And I'm so grateful that she trusted me and she trusted her body. And I'm so grateful that she continued, because look what came out of her body. This is an epic result. Lots of sludge, lots of mucus. Now, the famous Dr. Sebi said, when mucus is present, so is disease. It's so true, right? Mucus is an immune response. Your body produces mucus to trap toxins. So if you've got mucus, you've got disease. Look at all the mucus in those the third last and the last photo. It's full of mucus and sludge. So I've encouraged this beautiful woman to keep going. There's another one of her photos. Keep going. Look at the size of that one. Right, I've encouraged her to just keep going. And she's going to. She's committed to her health. So I believe she can put her RA into remission. I've seen it many times. If your rheumatologist is telling you can't heal your RA, find yourself another rheumatologist. You can heal your RA. I've seen it many times. So if these people can do it, the people that I've worked with and I've seen with my own eyes, if they can do it, why can't you? You can. You just need to work on getting the conditions right. When the conditions are right, your body will heal. Why? Because your body is magical. Your natural state of being is joy and happiness and health. The reason why you move from that natural state is because of external influences. If you get rid of those influences, you can return back to your natural state. You're not here to suffer. You're not here to be sick. You're here to be joyful and healthy. Remember that. Person number 6. This woman here was diagnosed with adenomyosis. So adenomyosis is basically when the tissue that lines the uterus grows into the muscular walls of the uterus. That's not where it's meant to be. It's meant to be in the actual uterus itself, not in the actual muscular cells or the muscle structures. So she actually had a period once that lasted for 3 weeks, which is what adenomyosis can do. It can really mess with your periods and your cycles. She said she was exhausted all the time and she was also experiencing low iron. Look what came out of her. Can you see why she would be exhausted all the time? It doesn't stop there. Here are more results from her. All different photos. Heaps of sludge, heaps of mucus, and heaps of massive green stones. Insane, right? Do you think she's on her way to healing her adenomyosis? Absolutely she is. And I have every confidence that she will, because she too is committed to her health. So the final person, this person here is an absolute superstar. So when she presented, she didn't have any huge health issues, but she was drinking alcohol and she had been for a long time. She had some energy issues. Her gut wasn't right. She put on weight. She just wasn't feeling good. Now, she got such great results that she's now singing my praises from the rooftops. I'm eternally grateful to her because she's brought all her friends. Some of the people that you just heard about are all her friends. She's like, come over here and see this superstar. So I'm very, very grateful to her. She knows that. Now, she too has done 3 purges. I want to share with you her results. And of course, she quit drinking alcohol last year, late last year. Quit drinking alcohol, feels freaking amazing. And everything about her life has changed. She's back on track. So let's have a look at the results of her very, very first purge. Just heaps of mucus and sludge, liver sludge, lots and lots of liver sludge and lots of stones. You can see there's some really big whoppers. So that's her first result. And here's her second purge result. The second one, she got a little bit more confident. She's taking her time now, even getting out the ruler and measuring things. Right. So what does fatty liver look like outside the body? You're looking at it, right? Now, it's not my job to diagnose, but if I had to diagnose, this is what I would have said. She was well on her way to fatty liver, for sure. This is massive stones, okay? That's just fat, yeah, from the liver. All right, here are her, that's her second, and now here's her third. So this past weekend, right, she's gone deeper and deeper and deeper into the bile ducts. And you can see that her results speak volumes. She's now starting to release a little bit less. So I've said to her, okay, because what happens is you release, and you get more and more and more. But at some point, you start to get less and less and less, which is how you know, okay, you're on the right path. Keep going. So I reckon she's probably got another 2 or 3 to do, and then she's done. She'll do a liver purge one day, and all she'll get is a tiny little amount, and then she's done and dusted. And then she can go on a maintenance protocol, maybe 1 a year, okay, provided she continues to look after herself. So, wowzers, I have to pinch myself every time I look at these photos. I just think to myself, the reason why we have so much disease on this planet is because no one knows enough about this stuff. No one knows enough about how to heal the body. And I get told all the time, oh, but we 100 years ago died, we didn't do liver purging. How did we survive this long? Well, we survived this long because we didn't also go to Coles every 5 minutes for rubbish. That's how we survived. We didn't have hundreds of chemicals in our house, which most of you do. Shampoos, conditioners, toothpaste, foundation, hairspray, mousse, shower gels, laundry liquid, dishwashing tablets. You have probably 1,000 chemicals in your house right now, and you don't even know it. We didn't have that 100 years ago. We didn't go to Coles 100 years ago. We went to the back. We went into the backyard and we ate off the land. The village would kill an animal and then the village would share it. We didn't eat as much meat as we did back then, as we do today, sorry. So back then we ate meat, of course, but it was in moderation. We didn't eat meat every day. Oh, but you know, there's Paleolithic this and Paleolithic that. No. Right? Perhaps they could deal with that type of diet back then. You know why they could deal with it? Because they didn't sit on their ass all day. I had to go buy a stand-up desk to stop me from sitting on my ass all day. We're not meant to be indoors. We're not meant to be sitting indoors all day long, and most of us do. And you know what? We'll go for a walk and we'll go to the supermarket. Congratulations, you've gone from one indoors to another indoors. Artificial light, and we're blocking the natural sun. How do you think we're going to get well this way? We're not going to get well this way, guys. Our ancestors were outdoors all the time, so if they did eat more meat, they were moving. The bowels, when you move your bowels. Your body relies on movement to flush, right? They were moving, they were hunting all the time. They went like this all day long. That way of thinking is not suitable to this way of living. We have to stop the fucking nonsense, because I'm watching people get sicker and sicker and sicker. And I'm not saying there's anything against eating meat. You can't eat meat every day of your life and expect to be healthy. You can't be inside every day of your life and expect to be healthy. That's not how this works. So ask yourself this question. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. And ask yourself, am I feeling healthy? Do I feel healthy? Do I get up in the morning and feel, fuck, I'm so glad I'm alive? Because if the answer is no, then what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Last year, I lost 6 people. I feel only 2 of those were related to the jab and to COVID and whatever else was going on in our world. But the others were not. Bowel cancer, brain tumor, tutor brain tumor. It doesn't have to be this way. We're not going to live forever. This is not about not dying. This is about living to our last breath in the very best possible way, living a vibrant life, the life that we were meant to live, that is our God-given fucking right to live. That's how you deserve to live. So only you can make it happen. No one's going to do the work for you. No one's coming to save you. Only you can make this happen. So when you're ready, I will be here waiting. You know how much I love this stuff. You know how much I love people and helping people. So I'll be here and I'll be waiting. We've got another program starting in June. That is fully sold, and I already have a wait list for September. So join me. It is the most affordable way to get coached. If you do one-on-one coaching, it's a lot more expensive because of the time that goes into one-on-one coaching compared to group coaching. Group coaching for 8 weeks, you'll be properly supported. You'll work in a group of amazing people, and you can start to get your health back. So if you've got questions, reach out. Otherwise, check out the link in my bio for the Live Like You Mean It program that starts September 4th. I hope you've enjoyed this video. 32 minutes, not bad. Lots of love to you. Have an awesome weekend. Bye, guys.